So we made it to the golf course. Now the big question is, did I get into the Good Championship? Let's find out. So we'll look at the email, and I'm gonna be honest, I already looked at the email. I got into the Good Championship. If you think I had the patience to not look at that email the minute it came in, I'm honestly flattered. But I did get in, which is awesome. So Arizona, May 8th, I will be there. But next, let's talk about what I'm gonna do to prepare for this Good Championship. And there's 3 things I'm really gonna focus on, and they're all basically short game related, and here's why. So this Good Championship has a pretty aggressive cut. Normally in an event that I'd play in, kind of a bigger event, there'd be 2 days and they'd cut it down to 70 players, and then you'd play 2 more days, just like a PGA Tour event. But this one, there's 63 guys or girls, I'm not sure who they invited, and it's a 1-day qualifier for 12 spots. So very aggressive cut down to 12 players. So we're gonna have to really focus on wedges, chipping, and putting. I'm not the longest guy out there, I'm not the shortest guy out there, but I'm definitely not the longest. So my focus is to score inside of 100 yards, wedges, chipping, putting, not really waste any shots. So that's what I'm gonna work on. We're gonna start with some wedges. So first thing, I'm working on wedges. I need to dial in that distance control and trajectory control. And how I'm doing that is kind of going around to our chipping green. I luckily have a green that I can go back to about 90 yards on. And I'm just gonna hit different shots, trying to hit different trajectories to really get a good feeling for how far I need to take it back for different shots. I have 2 pins here, so the front one's 35 and the back one's 45. So I'll try to make sure I'm not hitting the same shot over and over and over again. So I won't hit 10 balls to that back pin, because then I'm not really learning anything feel-wise, because I can't hit 10 balls in a row to the same pin on the golf course. And another thing I'm gonna do is I wanna be able to hit 2 clubs from the same distance. So here's actually a little too close. There's very specific reasons why I'd have to club down if I had to hit it under something. But as we get farther back, I want to be able to hit my 58 and 52 the same distance, whether I'm at 70, 80, 90 yards, just so if I get in a spot where I'm into the wind or I need to run it back there kind of thing, I have the option and I know how to hit the shot. The one important thing I'm trying to do while I'm getting these feels is to make sure my tempo stays the same on all of these shots. So I don't want to have the variables of thinking about how hard I'm trying to hit it and how far back I need to take it. I just want to have the same tempo, feel like it's the same speed, but have a longer backswing depending on the shot that I'm trying to hit, and that'll determine how far the ball goes. So that'll just leave me one variable in changing the distance compared to 2 if I was speeding up and slowing down the swing. The second thing I'm working on is chipping, basically anything inside 30 yards. The grasses will probably be different because I'm in Florida now and that event is in Arizona. They're both warm climates, but up there's a lot drier. I'll have to look it up, but my guess will be different grasses. So I can't learn too much there, but the biggest thing, I just want confidence kind of going into that event with my chipping, especially when I can feel confident that I can get up and down and I can make a lot of putts. The rest of the game is a lot easier. I don't have as much pressure in hitting the greens. So that's why I want to have a lot of confidence going into that. What I'm going to do for that, just to make sure I can hit all the different shots, is I take 5 golf balls. I bring pretty much all the shot clubs that I would use around the green. So I have all my wedges. Occasionally I'll chip with a 7-iron, but Right now I just got lob wedge, gap wedge, pitching wedge, and we'll just 5 balls, bounce around the green, just learning different feels, making sure that some of these are on a good lie and some are on a bad lie, because all the lies I'm going to get on the golf course probably won't be great. One thing I've been doing recently that I've found a lot of benefits to, my weight has been shifting a little too much forward, kind of in the downswing, which is really getting my hands in front of the ball and the leading edge digging. I'm trying to use the bounce. So what I'm doing is dropping this right foot back a little bit and getting the heel up. So more of the weight's kind of on this front foot and less pressure on the back foot. So it's harder for me to push off into the other foot. And then I just kind of think about the feel, like how much weight I feel like I have on here, focus on it not transferring, and then slowly I can move my foot back to normal. But this has been helping me quite a bit in keeping the weight constant and just making the bottom of my arc a lot more consistent.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head, because there are so many things that I left unsaid.
So most of those, as you saw, weren't very good. So the good thing about using 5 balls, bouncing all around, I'm figuring out a lot of spots that I'm not very good at. Like that was into the grain, firm green. So it's just something I need to work on. Really, into the grain's the hardest part. The third thing that I'm really focusing on is putting. Being that it is such an aggressive cut, I really don't have any room for error with missing those 3, 4, 5 footers. Like I'm gonna have to make a lot of those. And I know it's 12 spots. The last qualifier I played was 50 for 4 and 68 got through, maybe 69. So either way, I'm gonna have to make putts, make birdies. So I'm gonna do a lot of these 2 drills I'm gonna mention. First is this gate drill. I wanna make sure I can hit the center of the putter. That is just gonna make sure I have a nice smooth roll on it. The green speeds are probably gonna be a little different than what I'm putting on now, so I will have to figure out the speeds then. But if I can hit the center of the putter face every time, learning those speeds and having good feel when I'm at that event is gonna be much easier. So for this, I just simply set up 2 tees slightly wider than the width of my putter. I like to set an alignment stick down just to train my eyes to make sure I aim correctly and I get my feet pretty square. And then because this putt breaks just a little bit, I got a tee for where I'm trying to look. So it's inside left. And I do this to pretty much start every session or before a round, just to really ingrain hitting the center of the putter and ingrain where I'm looking is where I'm trying to go. The second drill I'm gonna do a lot of is this circle drill. Now I got about a 5.5 foot circle here. It's gonna get me to hit a lot of different putts and kind of provide some pressure for those putts that I'm gonna have to make in the event. I'll have a target goal based on the tour percentages. So from 5 feet, I'm gonna guess they make about 75% of them. So my goal is to go around 2 balls at each tee, make 8 of them to beat that 75%. So I'll keep going around until I do that, and then I'll change up the distances. not that great. I made 5 out of 10 of them, which obviously didn't hit my goal, so I'll keep going around. Really need to work on reading the greens. I hit a lot of good putts with bad reads, so I'll have to work on that. That's all I got for you today. If you want to follow along on my journey through this tournament, the Good Championship, and I'm also playing in the National Club Pro right before that in New Mexico, so I'll have content on that as well. If you want to follow along, click that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video.